shish kebab.
I'm just a soul whose intentions are good.
You're always so hyperbolically violent. You need therapy.
Die, Nazi.
He's not a Nazi, GI.
Oh, okay.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Superlair. We are here for a second stream. We took care of the Superman trailer, but of course we have another Creature Commandos episode to tackle. I'm hearing pretty good things about this one. Strongest one of the series so far. We're gonna find out. Of course, I'm joined by my brother from another mother, JG Shaolin. Terrific. How you doing today, man? Well, good afternoon to you too.
What is going on, man? Man, I hate I missed the stream earlier, but I did see the trailer. I did listen to you guys talk about it. And a
Appreciate it.
blasphemous Nerdman, of course. And like you see underneath us, Nerdman is so fake that Barbie's jealous. I meant every word.
I love it. I love it. We had a very good conversation, and don't you worry. I believe that we may talk some Superman during this episode. Maybe. We'll see.
And I did hear that. Did Gunn say that this was his favorite episode? I think I'm not sure. Could have read it wrong, or it was something to that effect. And we get a first look at a certain Caped Crusader.
I've heard things.
I've heard things. So I try to stay off social media the day of the episode drops. So I try.
Yeah, it's been a hectic day, man. That Superman trailer. I don't really see anyone talking about this episode, outside of potential cameos. But yeah, the Superman trailer is ruling. It's already breaking records.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for DC, that is for current DC.
Yeah.
It's looking really good, man. Oh man, I can't wait. But we'll talk about it later into the episode. Without further ado, man, I think we should just hop into this. I think we've waited long enough.
Let's go.
So let me get this Google Meet set up.
I'm liking Google Meets a little better.
Yeah, I was wondering. I think it's nice to switch it up.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of funny because like we hypothetically could have included Nerdman into our Penguin watch parties, but we didn't.
Those hour episodes and Nerdman, those 4 hours. No, can't do it.
Yeah, they would have been
4 hours,
hour and a half long. Yeah.
Love you, Nerdman.
Yeah, he's great. He was like, "Yeah, I kind of needed to do work, but I'm gonna watch the Superman trailer instead." And I was like, "Respect. I respect it."
Exactly.
All right, so let me just set this up. Let me share the stopwatch. How are you, buddy? How are you doing, buddy? By the way, saw Creature Commandos. It was awesome, and my review is up. I gave you a shout out. Appreciate you. I'll make sure to check it out. Superman trailer made me cry. Emotions were high, my man.
Yes.
Wonderful trailer. It's everything I wanted and more.
Mm-hmm.
Who the heck is Superwise? I don't really know how to respond, but I'm here. Superwise or not, I'm here. We are here for Chasing Squirrels, episode 4. I'm very, very interested. Heard things. So without further ado, man, let's just get into this. Starting now.
Oh, I loved it.
Never gets old. Never gets old.
Okay.
Oh, out the gate.
Yep.
Ah, Economos.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Hmm.
I love it.
Hmm.
Oh wow. Wow.
I would love to see him in live action, man.
All right.
G- G-
Gorilla
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 Grodd?
Grodd?
Am I that
Looks like Gorilla
Daily
Grodd.
Planet? That's Metropolis.
Uh-huh.
Ah, there he is.
Yep. Peacemaker,
Batman.
Batman, okay. Superman with the costume.
Oh wow. The synergy is appreciated. Mm. Weasel.
Wow, this is funny. The thirst is real.
Yeah, he's down bad.
See the ooh.
Oh man.
Oh wow. Oh
Oh.
wow.
Oh.
Gunn is sadistic.
Oh.
Oh. Mm.
Oh, tears shed.
Yes.
I
Screw you, James Gunn, for making me misty eyed.
oh
Man. Wow.
Whew, man. All right.
I don't know what to say after that episode.
Yeah, man. I shed tears. It got me emotionally. Um, but let me pull up an image and we can talk about it. Oh, it's so depressing, bro. All right, we can use this one. So, in terms of episodes go, I think this is definitely the best one, the best written one. Um, let's not even bury the lead. Let's just start off with Weasel. That
Mhm.
was so sad. It's one of the most messed up things James Gunn has ever done. Like us having to sit there and watch children die. And
Yeah.
he's so close to saving this one child and he can't. I'm I'm in disbelief. I mean, it's incredible what he can do in 26 minutes and the emotions that you can get from that. I mean, that whole scene was just it was hard to watch. It was heartbreaking. Ah, man, just seeing the kid like
Mhm.
oh, like his eyes, he's struggling and then oh god, I don't even want to talk about it anymore. It was I mean, I cried. I cried. And what's so great about that ending to the episode is that they generalize Weasel, because he comes across as this dumb, goofball, but internally he has trauma. Like it's really
Yeah.
like you don't know what's going on with him really. And he can't speak and he can't tell anybody about it. It's beautiful and heartbreaking and just it was very well executed. Um then let's see. Moving on from the weasel part. Um let's talk about Cersei and her vision. That was in the season trailer. Everyone was hyping it up like, "Oh, what are we going to see?" It was pretty interesting to see her premonitions and us seeing Gorilla Grodd. Like
Mhm.
that's awesome. I mean, flash tease. Um, and then we go to all the heroes crucified, burnt, burnt up on sticks. I love seeing David Corenswet Superman. Unfortunate situation he's in, but I just love the synergy. I love seeing the suit and Wonder Woman and Starfire, Batman could go on and on about the appearances, but it's cool to have that synergy. So that's the second main part. And then I guess the third main part would be um, the whole Rick Flag Sr. Frankenstein
Mhm.
dynamic, which I thought was pretty funny. David Harbour is great in this role. And, we saw that shot of his like build and physique. And we were both like, yeah, live action. I would love to see him because that would just be a treat to see him, uh, you know, on camera with whoever. I don't know who he would cross over with, but just to see that jump would be really cool. He's well, what do you say? Dilfy piece of shit or something like that.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
line delivery, it was the funniest joke of the episode. Like I was not expecting that at all. And it's just brilliant line delivery. Just the way it was told, that is the key to a good joke. So that was really fun. And yeah, that's Frankenstein has been the character I've probably been most looking forward to when I saw the trailers. We've heard great things, and now we're in the thick of it. He's teaming up with Rick Flag Sr. We're going to see that. That's going to be really fun. And then last thing I'll say, Dr. Phosphorus, Alan Tudyk. I think he's hilarious. I think he's great.
Oh yeah.
He's definitely one of the highlights for me. His comedic timing is great. And he's in the prison. He's like, yeah, you're probably not happy because you lost your food. Your friend's probably dead. Broken jaw. Just like the sarcasm and his, again, it all comes down to line delivery. I think it's great. So overall, I thought it was the strongest episode of the season thus far, and the emotions just, oh man, just add it to the list of terrible trauma we have to sit through from James Gunn. Thank you. But JG, what'd you think?
Great emotional episode, well written. Screw you, James Gunn, for making me cry on this one. Man, if that guy, he can do like emotion drama, like God.
He's the best at it to me.
Yes,
like, out of any comic book director, he just gets a reaction out of me every time.
And I remember last week I said I was curious to see Weasel's backstory, and I compared him to Rocky Raccoon. That's how I envisioned a backstory would be, kind of really emotional, feel sorry for him, feel bad for him. Yeah, man. A lot of times I was looking to see who were those, like the Justice League members on those pikes, those stakes. Then that scene came up, like, oh my God, I can't take my eyes off it. He's a misunderstood character because, like you said, he can't speak. His eyes are all over the place, and they see him as a joke, but he has emotions. You saw how afraid he was to approach the kids, and the kids, first the candy bar, then the apple, and all of a sudden they're friends again, right? It's that childlike innocence. And Weasel, in a way, is like a child almost. And again, he's also misunderstood because of how he looks, right? The older guy sees him. I mean, if it was any of us in real life, we see a dog jumping on a kid like that, we're going to kind of watch like, hey, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So
right.
that's very realistic. But, seeing that misunderstanding is what caused the death of those kids, right? The guy come down with a shotgun, shooting up, I guess that was a propane tank or whatever it was down there, blowing everything up, and seeing the kid's face and the bruises on him, and his eyes is going through that slow death in that last breath that the kid took. The girl crying in a corner and hugging on Weasel because she's scared. He's also scared, but hey, I want to save this girl, and stop shooting him. And again, misunderstanding. He's trying to save the girl, not kill her. I don't know if anybody remembers the gorilla at the zoo where the kid fell into the gorilla encampment.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
And the gorilla was trying to save the kid, but they thought it was trying to hurt the kid. They ended up killing the gorilla. Right? Oh my goodness. That was, screw you, James Gunn.
Yeah.
Let's talk about happy things.
Please, yes.
Frankenstein, look, shout out to the animators with that fight scene. It was so smooth. It just, everything went together. It wasn't choppy. It was just very smooth. Then they also added humor to it, right? Where Rick Flagg's on his back, and Frankenstein could literally just toss him down and kill him at any moment's notice. He's sitting there whining about the bride, and this whole episode was misunderstandings, dude.
Literally,
it was an episode full of misunderstandings. In the whole dialogue with, oh, you call her princess, you always got a pet name for her. I was like, dude, oh my goodness. And then how storm is hitting, and all of a sudden they're calm again. Oh, the bride, dude. I don't want her. She don't want me. It's not like that, dude. Don't. She's not my type. Oh, but she's everybody's type. It's like, dude, you're mad at somebody if she wants somebody, but then you're mad if somebody doesn't want her. It's like, dude, oh my goodness. Yeah, and the whole, I'm curious, because we always pronounce her name as Xerxes or Xerxes.
Yeah, it's really what Xerxes. I don't really care.
They call her Circe, so I'm curious if they're going to call her that in live action, or they're going to refer to her in live action as Circe. Because we've seen some things where Black Panther, for instance, Namor.
Right. Yeah.
The queen called her Namor. But he called himself Namor, right? So I wonder if anyway. But
That's a good
yeah,
point. Yeah. Yeah.
I forgot where I was going. The whole futuristic take on how the princess is gonna be the means of destruction for the earth or the world or whatever, right? See Gorilla Grodd, and that's Easter egg like, hey, Flash is coming, or he's gonna be in a realm somewhere, hopefully.
Yeah.
Now I was looking online to see if who people were saying that were on those stakes or whatever. Batman, Wonder Woman, Superman, of course. Cersei was also there. Hawk Girl, Supergirl, um,
Starfire, I'm pretty sure.
Starfire. You saw Peacemaker, of course, on the ground. Vigilante was also there. So yeah, basically everybody that we've seen or that's noted to be seen on there are going to be in the live action adaptations at some point in time. We know Supergirl is also going to be in Superman, and she's also going to have her own thing. So yeah, that's great. I love it. Now, James Gunn is, like I said, the synergy, right? He's putting everything together. So everything's canon now. Everything's canon. But yeah, great episode, emotional episode. Screw you, James Gunn. Next episode, it looks like it's gonna be more of a Frankenstein bride backstory, a little more so Frankenstein.
Yeah.
So, and the gypsy lady we saw in the first episode, I believe, or was it the second episode?
It was the
With the Zac Efron's
yeah, it was the
wallpaper.
second. Yeah, I could never forget that. Pretty sure the second episode.
Yeah, so apparently she's in love with him. Like, they're both, well, the cartoons, it don't matter. They're both grotesque people. But love, so she loves him. He loves the bride. The bride doesn't want him. He doesn't want the gypsy. And maybe there's a love triangle. I don't know. I hope it is, because it's gonna be funny to see. But yeah,
she was like gypsy shit. That got me. That was good.
And this is a way to fit humor in dramatic scenes, and that doesn't feel forced. Because we see them as those characters anyway, right? We see Frankenstein already saying some humorous stuff. We kind of feel for the guy because he's like a kid still in his brain. He has that undying love and devotion for what he wants, and he's in denial. The bride doesn't want you, dude. The bride doesn't want him. Oh, it's like, a little girl goes to somebody, say, hey, Mom, he hit me. Oh, he just likes you. That's kind of his mindset, right? Like she's fighting you to get away from you. No, it's she loves me. This is how we play. Like, no, this is funny, but it's also realistic at the same time. Oh, Damian Wayne apparently was there too.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's what on this comic book. Whatever.
I mean, I could believe it.
Yeah,
I could believe it with the DC slate that he announced, and just like planting seeds. I could believe that. But yeah, I do want to pull up just that Batman. I just want to take a closer look.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Damian Wayne is in there.
I think he's on the right side, I think.
Yeah, I'm just scrolling through the thread that has all of them. Oh yeah, apparently maybe Booster Gold is there. Booster. It kind of looks like Booster, but
yeah, I love how they did it where the sun's kind of blocking out everybody. So you just kind of have to theorize of who's there. Of course, the Wonder Woman, Batman, Superman in the front. I mean, obviously. Who's that to the far left? Blow it up. Martian Manhunter apparently is there.
I could believe that.
So it's very interesting.
Let's see.
I didn't see Vigilante. It says Vigilante to the far left.
Yeah, I didn't see Vigilante.
Looks like his suit to the far left in the front. I'm trying to see who's to the right. That looks like Flash almost. I think that is Flash. Because you could find a panel where the princess looking on them on a hill. To the far left, that looks like Vigilante almost, but to the right
Okay,
of
yeah,
him looks
I
like
looked up a
Flash.
picture. That is Vigilante. Apparently Judo Master's there.
Hmm. Yeah, the guy to the right, what I'm thinking is Vigilante, looks like Flash.
Let's see. I got this thread up here. I'm not seeing any Flash. I wouldn't be surprised, however, because you can get away with it. You're not really committed to a certain design if
Mhm.
you're, a little more ambiguous with it and you sort of block it out with sunlight. But I mean, this Batman is pretty clear.
Yeah.
He has a collar, it looks like.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know if I would call those short ears, maybe medium length. And the cowl and the suit overall is black. Black and gray, probably. You know me, I want to see the blue and gray.
Mhm.
So by no means do I think this is like them saying, oh, the DCU Batman is for sure going to have the black and gray color scheme. I think it depends on when they get a writer, when they get a director, when the pitch is right, and when they actually start working on it.
Yeah.
But as like a general outline to signify that this is Batman, it works. I think he looks cool. And you're definitely, this could be a, it's ambiguous. You can play
Yeah.
around with it. I don't think you're committed. But it's
Mhm.
still cool nonetheless to see Superman and Batman within range. Like the future is near, brother. The future is near.
And I'm looking at what Gunn has done, especially with the Superman suit. That's really growing on me more and more when I see it. He's kind of doing that mix between old and new, right? He's mixing things up. So that Batman could be a mix between. It's not short ears, but it's not really long ears, like that in between.
Right. It's
Maybe.
like the middle. Yeah.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. Hmm. Maybe he's gonna go with a gray and black and not a blue and gray. I don't know. But like you said, this is animated, ambiguous. He could change his design at any moment's notice.
Yeah. It's just like a general idea just to tell you that this is Batman. And it's cool nonetheless.
Mm-hmm.
I do think though, like you're totally right about James Gunn mixing old with new and creating something I think great out of it. I love that suit. I think they should, differentiate yourself. You should differentiate yourself from Pattinson because he's already got the black and gray color scheme. You
Yeah.
should go blue and gray. I think you embrace the fantastical. Establish Bat family. He's happier. He has his family. He has a circle of trust. Signify that with brighter colors. Yellow oval would be great. Literally just like the Dan Mora, world's finest
Mhm.
Batman look. Like I just want it ultra comic booky. And dare I say, throw trunks on him. I mean, I know people are against that. Listen. I do it. I go for it. Really, really go out there with it. Don't go back to black and gray. Not that it can't look great, but we're in a
I
super
remember
comic booky universe. Let's just go for it.
Yeah. I remember seeing an article that James Corenswet wanted those shorts on him. Right? So
It was
or was
David
it
it was David who fought for the trunks because
Yeah.
surprisingly, James was leaning more on the anti-trunk side and they were doing
Mhm.
screen tests. And David was like, no, like, kids should love Superman and trust Superman. Like, let me dress up like a professional wrestler to put him at ease, basically.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
And I
yo,
like that
you
because that's
get it.
basically the original design was like a wrestler, right? And
Wrestler,
so
strong man. Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's great. No, he did his
Yeah.
homework. He read. He knows what he's talking about. I love it.
Yeah. David Cornsweat just gets it, bro. And I guess we could wrap up the conversation talking about You want to talk some Superman? You want to talk
Yeah,
about
let's do it.
general trailer thoughts?
Yeah. I'll say not the trailer, but the first whatever. I was nervous about the color grading.
Hmm.
Right at first, and that's the promo trailer before the teaser. So I listened to Nerdman, and he had a point where it looks almost like a commercial almost. So I was like, ooh, I don't know if I like that color grading that much. And then we see the trailers, like, okay, first scene, Superman falls to the ground, right? That sound, like a missile falling straight to the ground, right? And maybe this is a little nitpick, but at first, as the camera's panning down, that CG was it looked like CG was a little off a little bit, a little janky.
Okay.
But it wasn't enough to where I'm like, oh, it's gonna be trash. No, it was like, okay, I'll deal with it. Now I'm curious about what the hell knocked him down there. Right? What
That's the
was it?
question.
The kaiju, or was it a mixture between the kaiju and something else, or what? Is it another entity that we haven't seen yet that Gunn is kind of holding on to? But yeah, then crypto. All right, the whistle. And I don't know about the cape.
Interesting. Nerdman said that as well. For me, it's sort of just like a given, and it's totally working for me. But Nerdman, now you are saying different, so I'm interesting.
I mean, like, I don't hate it, but it's like, how the hell did he get it on? Right?
It is a dog with laser eyes. I think we can find our way around this.
Well, I need to see it. I need to see Crypto put the cape on. It's just like we like to see Batman put on a cowl. We like to see Superman put on a suit. I want to see Crypto put on that collar and cape, right? Or does the cape kind of just seep out the collar or something? Or I don't know. Dogs do what they do, and it's the alien dog, so who knows what he's gonna do? Yeah.
They did that in Super Pets where he would like click the collar and the tape would flow out. I think that's fun.
Mm-hmm. And I love this scene right here, man. I love it. And Superman's a character. If I know we all remember seeing The Dark Knight, where Gordon does a whole monologue about, Batman being both hero and villain. The world needs him to be because he can do that. Superman's a character where he always has to be that hope. He can't show any what's the word I'm looking for? He can't show emotion to the point where he's down. Like, he always has to be hopeful. He always has to be that beacon. And whatever happened at this scene, got throwing a can at him, knowing that Superman could just fold him in half, like in the blink of an eye. But those a can of disrespect. I'm seeing a Superman here in this scene that failed at something. He probably failed trying to protect or trying to save something or do something. And the world loves you when you're saving everybody and everything's good, but when things go bad, you start to see the true nature of people.
Yeah.
And everything he's gone through, all things he's done, maybe one little mistake, people turn against him, and he has to take it. He's probably a better person who's not even used to being able to have to take it, right? Again, this is what I'm getting from this scene right here. Emotional, having to hold back any temper he may have, any emotion he may have, just has to walk, right? Oh man. And the best scene, I think you said it yourself, the kid raising up the flag.
Man.
Having faith that Superman's going to come save him or save them. And if you can go to the still screen, because I was trying to see, because the news was covering it on in this trailer. And
and Lex is looking at the TV and whatnot.
Yeah. And just that, dude, Snyder tried to do it when was it BVS, where he's kind of hovering over this woman, and this is Flood that had a Superman symbol on the roof. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, no, I love that moment personally.
Yeah.
I think it's great imagery, but
imagery in this right here, I mean, not the scene, but when he's holding up that like little old kid struggling to raise that flag up. He's probably a self-made flag too. And crying, hoping that Superman would come save them. Dude, that's an emotional scene. I can't wait to see that in theaters.
Oh yeah, man.
I can't wait.
And just imagine, like, there's a war going on and whatnot, but now you got a child involved. So I can imagine Superman being not happy about that. And what I'm so excited to see is David Corenswet. Like, yeah, he's going to be happy. He's going to be optimistic, but he's also determined and ready to lay you out if the situation requires you so. So I'm very excited to see that duality and, him let loose a little bit. He's being put through the ringer with Ultraman, with Engineer, with Lex, with whatever the hell is up in the sky. That other kaiju. There's a lot going on.
Exactly.
So him.
Then you have Gal Gardner coming in there too with
Yeah.
the Hawk Girl. It's so much going on. He's raised by human parents. He's overwhelmed possibly at this point.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Like he's seeing heroes that are not doing it for the right reasons. And so Superman has to emerge as the hero. I think that's incredibly smart. How you have this established universe. You have superheroes in the world, but Superman is going to be the first one to really represent what it means. And it's going to change the universe forever. I think thematically it works. I think, it was when Gunn and Safran were talking about it, just in the writing stages, they were like, Superman is kindness in a world that thinks kindness is old fashioned. And I was like, I think we're going to get the best Superman movie of all time with this.
I agree.
I firmly believe it. And I firmly believe whether it be top 5 or top 3, we're getting an all-timer comic book movie here. I'm so sure that this is going to deliver and be relevant and be one of the most powerful things in the comic book genre. Like, I think James Gunn is the guy to do it. I could not be more excited. This teaser did everything it needed to.
Exactly. And what you just said, not about the world and the age of, because we talked about, I think last week, about the Justice Society, right?
Yeah.
And I know with Stargirl, for those who've seen that, no, Justice Society, they call it the Age of Heroes, right? And it gives me Watchmen vibes, right? Where you had those Age of Heroes, but then the world just turns against them because you had some people doing it for the wrong reasons, just like you said. And here comes Superman, like I said, this beacon of hope, this kindness in a world that sees kindness for weakness, right? Who always have to have a smile, right? Always just being that, I'd say, like a goody two shoes type of guy, right? And oh man, I can't wait to see the world Gunn creates. Another thing I loved, I'm not sure about the wig, the hair when he's Clark Kent is different, but if you notice, you see they look different.
Yeah, it works for me.
Yeah, at first I was like, but then as I see him sitting in the chair and turning back, the hair, the glasses, his face looks completely different. Right? So I can see people not knowing he's Superman. I can see that. No, the love scene with Lois and Clark. I kind of agree with Nerdman, right? When he said, you don't want to be Clark, but he's Superman. All of a sudden, y'all up on top of him, wanting to do everything, right? You're like, what? Like, he's still the same guy either way. But look at this. Superman, she's all on him.
It's a great shot, man.
Great shot. But look at this. And then, he's Clark Kent. She didn't pay him any attention. Like, what? Isn't that so realistic, bro?
I think it's Nerdman. I completely agree with him. I think it's just fundamentally flawed. That she falls for Superman first. And then she's like, oh, you're also Clark. That's cool, I guess. Like, no. Like, she could have it all with Superman, but she chooses this mortal. She chooses Clark, this dorky guy. She has to make that choice. And then she can find out that he's Superman. That is the superior way of telling that story. I agree with Nerdman that it makes her unlikable and a little shallow if it's the other way around. I don't like it that way.
That also reminds me of Batman Forever. Val Kilmer, Nicole Kidman falls in love with Batman. But then on the scene when on balcony, she realizes, I love Bruce. I was kind of infatuated with you as Batman, but I'm in love with someone else. And
That's a
Val
good
Kilmer walks out
point.
smiling,
Yeah,
you
that's
realizing that okay,
very
he
similar.
loves
Yeah.
Bruce, not Batman, Bruce. So I'm hoping it's kind of like similar to this, similar to that. I mean, in this, that she eventually falls for Clark because I don't know, I'm just ready for the movie. I'm
Yeah,
ready for the
man.
movie. I don't want to see any more.
I
You
really
should
don't need any more,
no,
honestly.
because I was sold already, and I've seen some videos of people who are kind of not fans of it, and it's not gonna be for everybody. Um, but dude, this I think this is exactly what we need.
Yeah.
Exactly what we need. The suit is still growing on a lot of people. It's growing on me. It's that same kind of powder blue we saw with Christopher Reeve wear in his Superman movies. The cape,
With the S on it, bro.
the S on it. Yes, we got all that. I think Rachel is gonna be the best Lois Lane we've seen since the Christopher Reeve movies.
I think she has the potential to be the best ever.
Yeah, because
Um,
she's brilliant as an actress. Brilliant.
it's inspired. Also Nicholas Holt, bro, as Lex. Like
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
the vision
Yes.
is there, but imagine like 5, 7, 10 years from now, he's just gonna be more weathered and jaded, and he's gonna really age into that role like wonderfully.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say I'm curious if maybe that gun he had, maybe it was a kryptonite bullet in it.
I'm curious about that. Yeah, and I love that shot. It's very like 70s, 80s
Mm-hmm.
classic bad guy. It's hard to explain. It's just like the vibe of that shot is very
Yeah.
nice, and I like James Gunn leaning into the sci-fi aspects of this character. That's what is going to set it apart. Like when Superman's trapped in the cage, he's got to break out. Like I'm loving all of that. I mean, I love every frame of what I've seen. It's incredible. But I do want to ask you, what do you think about John Murphy's theme? At least being, I mean, I think maybe it's half John Williams. Like
Mhm.
the Williams influence is there, and you can clearly hear it both in a lowered, like slower tone, and then as the music goes on, it's more bombastic and triumphant. It's throughout his piece, and we haven't heard it entirely, but it's there. What do you think about that? Do you think that's the right move?
I would have loved for him to kind of do an original track. I know he's trying to play,
Mhm.
respecting homage to the classics that were very classical, like great themes. But I kind of would prefer something new since this is a new age of DC. We're starting over fresh with greatness. I would love something new. But I would say this, I'll be honest. At first, it sounded like American Gladiators, that theme a little bit with the
Mhm.
electric guitar, dun, 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 like, you know what I mean? And so, but yeah, I'm not mad at it. Of course, for me, the best theme I've heard in recent years with the DC, say the past 10 years, is probably the Wonder Woman theme.
That got old quick for me. I think that
Did
theme's
it?
been ruined,
I
honestly.
love that theme, bro.
It's great, but the DCEU ruined many things, and I think that was one of them. I think I'm ready for a new one, dog.
No, yeah. I'm not mad at it, man. Yeah, I would have loved something new, but hey, it's a great way to show respect. Because, like I said, he's done everything he's done so far with this Superman is combining the old with the new. Right? You mentioned Lex Luthor, kind of that old 70s, 80s villain kind of aspect to him that Gene Wilder kind of had a little bit of. He's mixing that old and new. The cinematography is mixing that old and new, right? The suit mixing the old and new. The campiness, right? I'm sure it's gonna be campiness in it, but it's gonna have like that Chris Reeves campy swagger, but also have that new kind of swagger with it combining. So yeah, Gunn is mixing a lot of things, and I'm assuming he's taking the best parts of both and put them together.
Yeah,
I
I
think that's
think
what
you're right.
Superman Returns failed, to where it was. It's more of a continuation for the Christopher Reeve movies,
Yeah,
but instead of trying to do his own thing, it just it was too dark, right? It just lack of a villain, lack of any. Now, it did some great things. Don't get me wrong, like the airplane scene. Superman trying to figure out how he's going to stop this plane and yet not and that save everybody at the same time and not cause any harm. Right? The bullet to the eye. Right, that was a great scene, I thought. Because him fighting at night, something we really didn't really see often. Right, because
True.
one thing I've always wanted to see was, okay, Superman is strong during the day because of the sun. How is he at night, where it's lack of a sun? How does the moon kind of affect him, or if it affects him at all? Does it slow him down a little bit? Something like that. So
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I think there's going to be returns if it didn't have an identity crisis, if it wasn't a straight continuation, like the essence you have to have. It's, Christopher Reeve and Superman are synonymous with me and a lot of people. Just that purity, that heart, that just that essence and spirit is much needed. And I think James Gunn is going to crack it. M Enterprises. I know you enjoyed Peak as well. I know you're on top of that. Yeah, man, this movie could not come sooner. I mean, I was losing sleep over it. It was that. I mean, he's my all-time favorite GOAT. He's my favorite fictional character of all time. And seeing something come to life that it's old and new, and it's giving me the Superman mythology that I've been dying for, and it has the emotion that's required. It's all a great blend, and I mean the trailer views are fantastic. It's probably at 13 million right now. It surpassed the Batman in terms of hours that people were watching it. I think there was also another comparison of Spider-Man No Way Home doing 20 million in 8 hours, and Superman did 12 in 8 hours. So, I hope the general audience shows up for this. We need a win. As I told Nerdman, if Superman can't work in the modern era, you have no business making comic book movies. Shut it down. Shut it down.
Yeah. Oh,
Stayed
one more
up for
thing.
Creature Commandos, woke up for Superman. Yeah, man, up 7 o'clock in the morning. I was ready to go. It was an awesome way to wake up. But you were saying?
Yeah, the Pa Kent scene in the trailer. Clark hugging him. Like, I'm curious if Martha dead. What's going on with that? It's what Gunn did is brilliant, right? Because he shows so many things. It's so much going on in this trailer. What's up, Tony? So much going on in this trailer that it has people theorizing and talking. And that's what I think a teaser trailer is supposed to do.
Yeah, for sure. It
He's
gave you
he's a different looking Pa Kent too.
Yeah, more than any of I mean, the casting is spot on. Like, you believe like he's this rural farmer, everyman. And this image is just like, it's great. It's surreal that we're seeing a new Superman take, and I think it's gonna be the one that we need.
Jesus looks so deflated. It is like it's somebody had to have died in the scene.
Yeah, both of them are like not,
and maybe the death of Martha is what made him want to become Superman, right?
It would be interesting because it's always Pa Kent, and like I said, No Way Home, they did it with Aunt May instead of Uncle Ben, and I thought that was a clever twist. Maybe we get that here. I would definitely entertain it. I have full faith in James Gunn. I saw so many Snyder crybabies today and other people's streams calling this a CW trailer. It's crazy. Even that, it's crazy to like make fun of the CW, especially when they just delivered the best written adaptation of Superman of all time with Mr. Tyler Hoechlin. I mean, that finale was one of the best pieces of Superman media, one of the best comic book pieces of content that I've ever seen. I mean, I was bawling. It was phenomenal. It's that is everything Superman should be, and it's earned its place in the legacy. So yeah,
Mhm.
calling it CW as if the CW didn't just hand in the best Superman. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. I think. I mean, I know people have
Look at that,
issues
man.
with
Oh my god.
some shots and stuff like that, but this is very stylistically different, and I
Mhm.
like that about it. Like we're not talking about how the film has a lack of color. We're talking about, the shot composition and the frames and like we're having a very, very just cool it's just cool to be talking about Superman, honestly. Like it's been 10 years since his solo film, his last
Mhm.
solo film. The fact that we're back here again talking about the future, potentially witnessing the start of a trilogy here, it's the best feeling, bro.
I'm not guaranteed if Zack Snyder did this movie, you wouldn't even hear all the hate from them.
Yeah, no. You know how it is.
But I mean, look at his face, look at his whole body, like everything looks different.
Yeah,
Like it
no,
looks like a different person right there.
he almost
Nose
like
looks smaller.
he almost morphs his face. It's
Yeah.
kind of crazy. And you were talking about the wig. The
Mhm.
wig is actually weirdly working for me because look how many curls he has in his hair.
Yeah, it's
So when
growing
he
on me.
when he becomes Superman, the one stray curl that he has actually makes sense. Like it's there for a reason. When he's
Mhm.
Supermaning about, it just like falls out of place and it's natural. Like it's not just like like Henry Cavill and Black Adam where he just had it, just because hey, it's Superman nostalgia, this, that, the other.
Yeah.
There's oddly a reason for it, which I'm kind of impressed by.
Mhm.
James
How
knows what he's
massive
doing.
that guy. Look how massive he is. Like a giant walking through everybody.
Yeah, he's tall. He's same height as Christopher Reeve. And I love just like I said, the number one thing I was excited to see in the teaser trailer was the duality between Clark and Superman. And
Mhm.
I got it. I love the oversized clothing. I
Yeah.
love uh Lois.
Nice simple
Like,
farm. Right. I love it.
yeah, yeah. I'll go back to that, but I love Lois giving Clark that classic look, and
Mhm.
you don't really know what she's thinking in her mind. Like, does she know? Does she not know? Does she actually have a crush on Clark? Like, I like that a lot. Um, it's just good to be back talking about some classic Superman. But yeah, you were talking about that farm. It's a
Yeah.
nice farm. It's nice and quaint. I like that about it. Like I was pleasantly surprised by it. I was like, oh, it's a nice little farm. It's an everyman's farm. Um, yeah, I think you're absolutely right on that. Um,
Yeah, we see yeah, that Gal Gardner, man. And in this grounded Green Lantern, I'm wondering if they're kind of like the boys, right? Where it's kind of like a grounded kind of organization that hires people you have to train to be a certain hero or something like that. Like they're not spacey, cosmic kind of. They're more on Earth. I don't know. I'm just curious about the grounded look.
yeah, it's gonna be interesting, and Variety threw it in there that Nathan Fillion's coming back for the Lantern series. So
Okay.
um, it's nice to have connectivity, man. We fought for it for years, and we finally have it. I hope James drops the official trailer during the Super Bowl. I definitely think that's happening.
Oh yeah, it has to.
Um, Warner Brothers and like typically drops what 3 trailers. So
Hmm.
we get one this month, which I think was incredibly smart. Then premiere it at Super Bowl because Marvel's going to have Fantastic Four debut there as well. So you want to,
Hmm.
you need to have the general audience on board, and then April, May, third trailer because this thing comes out in July. So yeah, man, I'm rewatching this on repeat and I'm so happy with this, and I can only imagine what's going to come in the next trailer. Like we didn't see Perry White, we didn't see,
Yeah.
some of these things, but I'm looking forward to more dialogue. Like I want to see Clark and Lois talk. I want that chemistry because we hear it's off the charts and I can absolutely believe it.
Let's see, Isabella Merced or Hopefully, I didn't butcher her last name. I'm very curious about her because she's so tiny.
Yeah.
Uh, she's so just a small person. Um, yeah, I wonder how many scenes she's gonna be in, or she's gonna be in there throughout, or I don't know. She's just so that's an interesting casting right there.
Yeah, I mean, when she got cast, I had no issue with it. But you're right. You know, she is small. She's on the smaller side. And speaking of Superman, great timing because when you go see Sonic, yeah, when you go see Sonic, you get these like 2 new shots that were not found online.
Mm,
So we got Lex in LexCorp. He's rocking the shades, and the scene that comes after this is Superman in the cage. So he's obviously, you know, finding Superman and has him currently. And then Mr. Terrific looks great. I mean,
yeah.
that design is straight out of the comics.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's great to have. Yeah, but I think that'll do it. I'm glad you and I got to talk some Superman talk, catch up. Um, any final thoughts on Creature Commandos? What you looking forward to next week?
I think next week's gonna be a very funny episode. A lot of humor. Because I'm sure it's gonna be Frankenstein's more so backstory and more of his backstory. So I'm prepared to laugh a lot. Um, yeah, Creature Commandos, man, it's great. I'm loving it. Uh, yeah, I don't know what else to say about it. It's just animation's great. The choreography is great. It's well written. Jokes land when they're supposed to land. Yeah, I'm all for it.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much to say week to week outside of Easter eggs, but it's a good time. It's a good time, and I wouldn't have released the Superman trailer today because I definitely think the Superman trailer overshadowed Creature Commandos. But on the other hand, it's nice to have, you know, synergy. This was DC's day, you know,
Hmm.
which is it's a nice change, isn't it?
Yeah.
To have DC back to back. But yeah, thank you so much for joining. Everyone in the chat, appreciate you. We will see you next week for Creature Commandos episode 5. Only 2 episodes left after that. So
Yeah. It's going by pretty quick.
it is. But it's a fun show, and we will see you next week. But until then, guys, take care.